Dead Island 2, a game that was originally announced in 2014 with a very promising trailer that is now sitting at 28 million views, is finally coming out. The game has gone through various different developers and has even been questioned for some time regarding its very existence, but it has now proved that it's more than an unfinished project with trailers, and releases this Friday, April 21st, more than 9 years after its announcement. So naturally, I made this video for you with 6 things you actually should know if you're thinking about buying this game, like I do. Starting things off with number 6, where we take a quick look at what kind of game Dead Island 2 actually is, because even if a lot of your expectations may be in line with the actual finished product, Dead Island 2 is, for example, not located on an actual island, contrary to what the title might suggest. Dead Island 2 is a first-person action RPG set in Los Angeles, with a primary focus on killing zombies in the most creative, most brutal and most satisfying ways. Before we go a bit deeper into the game's settings, design choices and mechanics, there is something important to note right away, which is that Dead Island 2, unlike its predecessor, is not an open world game. Instead, it's designed to be a more linear experience. Even though you will be able to explore iconic locations and landmarks in Los Angeles, it is not designed for seamless traversal across the entire map, like Dying Light 2 for example, but instead is zone-based and separated by loading screens. This is not necessarily a bad thing, as art director Adam Olsen emphasized that they want to be able to focus on quality over quantity, which is fine by me, as there have just been too many disappointing open world games releasing the past few years. In general, the semi-open world but still linear world design seems to have similarities with the world building of the Last of Us game series, so I am personally pretty happy about their choice. Now that we've covered the basics, let's have a look at number 5, which brings us to the combat system and a very unique and welcome improvement when it comes to the gore details and killing animations. Let's begin with the combat. As you would probably expect just by how the game is being marketed, the core gameplay of Dead Island 2 is killing zombies up close, with the most brutal and deadliest weapons you can find and craft. Sledgehammers, machetes, katanas, even stuff like a guitar or meat tenderizer are at your disposal to smash zombies' heads and limbs into the ground. You can also retrofit your weapons to create even more badass weapons, for example flaming katanas, electrifying daggers, or exploding hammers. This can be done at any workbench scattered over Los Angeles. There's also a wide selection of ranged weapons like pistols, shotguns and crossbows, and I have to say, for a melee combat focused game, they actually look like a lot of fun, and it appears as if the devs have put as much work into their polishing as for the melee combat weapons. Tons of different zombie types that challenge you in different ways. Also make sure that you don't feel like you're killing the same zombies again and again and again. There are also zombies called Apex that are hyper mutated zombies with unique powers, so pretty much your elite zombie types with extra difficulty. Of course, beautifully designed weapons like these demand impressive and high quality body animations and gore effects to really deliver the experience the game intends to deliver, and Dambuster Studios answers this demand with what they call a flash system, which brings us to number 4. According to Dambuster Studios, Flash is short for Fully Locational Evisceration System for Humanoids. On screen, this is as impressive as it sounds, as this basically means next-gen gore effects and body animations. The Flash system procedurally breaks skin, muscles and bones, so you can hit and tear apart a zombie as many times as you want. It's not like in most other games where there's suddenly an invisible barrier that's preventing you from doing any more visible damage or wounds to the dead body. If you strike a zombie often and hard enough, the flesh will actually get torn off from the bone. This next-gen flash system also ensures that different weapons have different effects on the zombies' bodies. You can't crush a zombie's bone with a standard hammer as efficiently as with, for example, a sledgehammer, and you also can't cut off limbs with a standard pocket knife as smoothly as with a machete or katana. This is not to say that it won't work, just that it needs more effort and dedication on your part. All these crazy zombie killing weapons need someone to wield them, of course. Which brings us to number 3, our playable characters, or as Dead Island calls them, Slayers. You can choose one of 6 Slayers, with each one having its own strengths and weaknesses, and each Slayer having 1 or 2 unique innate starting skills. Just know that once you've made your decision, you cannot change your Slayer choice later in game. Next in line we have number 2, skill cards, aka the skill deck. There is no classic skill point or skill tree system in Dead Island 2. Instead, the main character building will happen with the use of different skill cards. Some skill cards can be used only on specific Slayers, and some skill cards can be used universally. The cards are divided into 4 categories: abilities, survivor, slayer, and Numen. An example of an ability skill card would be the dropkick or dodge. Skill cards can be earned simply by leveling up, or can be hidden through the city of LA. It's worth noting that skill cards can be swapped out or combined at any moment during the game. Moving on to our last topic for today, let's talk about release platforms and system requirements for PC. Dead Island 2 is releasing on April 21st, 2023 for PS5 and PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One. For PC, the game is for now exclusive to the Epic Games Store, but as most games it is probably coming to Steam as well in the future. For now, however, you'll need to download the Epic Games Store to be able to play it on PC. Regarding system requirements, the CPU requirements are actually a bit concerning. While the GPU requirements seem to be in line with those of most other comparable games, recommending a Core i9 for 1080p gaming and a 13th Gen i7 for 4K ultra settings already sends warning signs down my spine. Especially with the ridiculous PC ports we've got in the past few months, mainly due to unoptimized VRAM or insufficient shader compilation. We will see if the game at least performs fine if those requirements are met, or if we will get another Hogwarts Legacy Stutterfest that will have to be patched out. And with that, I'll be closing this video off for today. I will probably do a performance video for PC as well once the game is out, so keep that in mind if you're interested. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.